my name's Wesley. Have you heard the one about the moose and the squirrel? Well, no, neither have I. Why do you think I'm asking you? Well, it's November, and that means one thing. Wasn't it just January and we were all planning how we were gonna get that great 2020 beach body? But suddenly here we are, and Halloween candy's on sale. No better time like the present to start putting on that winter 50. We missed the summer season anyway. So it's November, and according to the retail calendar, we are already late for Christmas. Here I am in week 1, I don't have any garlands left, and I have no idea where I'm gonna put things on Boxing Day. But that's okay, because I don't work in a store, I live in a house. Actually, this is a good time to say that while some stores do start a little bit early, it takes a lot of hardworking people, a lot of time and hours to plan out what Christmas will look like on such a big scale. And frankly, if they started doing Christmas when everyone thinks they should, they wouldn't be done till January 1st, and then you'd all be mad about that. When I started this channel, one of my major inspirations was watching other people do Christmas crafts. I would watch how much fun they were having and I would think, I can do that. Probably do it a little bit better. Now I've decided that they all got their starts by doing many Christmas series. In addition to this, my YouTube feed has been full of many people doing many wonderful activities with thousands of their many best friends. Let's carve pumpkins with my best friend. Let's make Halloween costumes with my best friends. There's like 6 of them. They're all wearing black doing Halloween things together. Go team! My best friends are a mannequin named Jerome and a blue dog named Biscuit. So the impending doom of Christmas is looming over us, and that means it's time we start thinking about gift giving. Not just the gifts you want to give, like giving your coworker an SUV just to prove how rich you are, or sending your parents on a 2-month tour of Europe just so you can have 2 months free of your parents. No, I mean the gifts you don't want to give. You know, the gift that you give to your friend that no matter how hard you try, they're always gonna give you something from the dollar store, or my personal favorite, a gift basket full of re-gifted items. Ooh, a scented candle. Look at this bath wash from 2006. Isn't this nice? There's also the $5 limit holiday work events. Although my favorite is when you open a gift and then you get to draw names or something. How does that work? Anyway, you get to steal the present of the person that went before you. It's always good in that game when you get to go last because you get your pick of the presents. But when you go first, everyone takes all the good things. And there's always that one present that goes back and forth. Well, not these gifts, I tell you. These gifts are going to be things that people never want to give away. So the whole plan is to make a whole bunch of gifts that look like they're really chic and expensive, but in fact they're made out of things lying around your home or something else that you've recycled. Although I suppose the best gift to give someone you don't like is like a weird amount on a gift card for a store that's hard to find. Like, you know, the store in the mall that sells wind chimes and fountains and rocks, you know, they say, dance like no one's watching. You know, sometimes they're a clock, all the numbers are on the bottom, it says, who cares? They got one of those machines, you press the button, it plays the song, but like, just the snippet and the song's always like, dun, 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 like it's slow wind music. And then, the store's always in the weirdest part of the mall, and it's always called something like, Heaven's Embrace Wind Chimes, Feelings Gallery, Soft Mist on an Ocean Breeze. So you get them a gift card for that for like $26, knowing that the cheapest item in the store is like $30. So having said all that, let's begin episode 1 in a series I'm calling Let's Make Gifts for People We Don't Like. Here is a list of things you will need. Old or used candles, candle molds or cups, a hot plate or stove, some kind of double boiler apparatus, candle wicks, and ice. Alright, so the first step to any good candle project is to first put on an apron. But you knew that already, because I'm clearly wearing an apron, and you've watched all my other videos. And if you haven't, you're probably missing out on some major plot holes and have no idea what's going on right now. Better go back and watch. So once you have your apron on, you can then begin the next step, and that is to begin melting your wax. Now I'm going to do this in my double boiler, but as you can see, I don't actually own a double boiler. I don't know where the cook keeps those kinds of things, and I don't want to start looking for them. So instead I have a pot and a metal bowl. Now my pot is full of water, so when it comes to a boil, as you can see, my hot plate is on high. Oh, hot! Oof, see me. So my candles will be layered, and because of this, I'll be melting my wax in rounds and sort it into little groups. So this one together, These are the same. This is the same kind. This one's on its own. It's weird. Well, I might just keep this one. That one's kind of nice. Oh, that's wonderful. Now that looks nice. So I'm just gonna start by removing these little wicks that are already in them. They just pull right out the bottom, easy. So now that my water has come to a boil, I'm gonna put my bowl on top. Now I don't really know how I ended up with so many weird candles in my house. These ones I found in a backpack in the closet. It was full of things like bottles of water and cans of soup and Band-Aids. I've also added food coloring to the mix, so that will be fun. It's like the glitter of cooking. Just waiting for these to melt down. I'm just gonna prepare the wicks for my molds. No, these aren't drinking cups, they're candle molds. Tricked ya, you thought I was having a party. Actually, we're just making candles. Well, that's useless. Those are hard to get into. What are they, drugs? Why are they so hard to get into? So as you can see, my wicks are much taller than my mold. And that's okay because I'm actually planning to cut these wicks in half so I will have double the amount. Do you know how expensive candle wicks are? Oh my gosh, they are so expensive. Now you'll notice that this one has a little metal thing on the bottom there, and that's gonna help it stand up when we make our candles. It's just gonna sit in here nicely like that. Now if I were making a candle that didn't involve ice, I would definitely put a thing across here and make it stand up. It'd be very beautiful and cute. People would think I was great. I'd probably win awards for how great that candle is. So what I'm gonna do is start by cutting this wick down to size. About there, as you can see, I've used my measuring skills. But oh no! Look, this one's gonna fall over. Aww. Don't worry, I have a solution. Take a penny. So in Canada, we actually got rid of our pennies, so I'm using American pennies, which means they're worth like $6 here. That just proves how rich I am, that I can use these $6 pennies to make a candle. Because my wicks are already coated in wax, I can just melt this little end. Maybe. And just press it onto this penny. Perfect! Look how nice that is. Alright, my next step is to prepare my molds. And this means filling them with ice. Unfortunately though, my ice is rather large cubes and I don't like that. So I'm going to take this ice outside and give it a good smash. Normally I'd use crushed ice from my fridge, but as I mentioned earlier, my cook is not here today and I have no idea how that works. So now that my ice has been crushed, I can begin the arduous task of putting it into these cups. Before I can put my crushed ice into the cups, I must first place my wicks. Now that my wicks are in the cups, I've done absolutely nothing to make sure they stay in place. That is because the ice is what's going to hold them in place. It's like making drinks, really. Because when you have a cocktail party, you should always have plenty of crushed ice with a nice little scoop on hand. You don't want to be those people that when guests come over, you have to phone them ahead of time and say, hey, could you bring some ice? And normally when you call them, they're on your front step anyway, so chances of them bringing ice are pretty slim. So now that I have the first layer of ice in the cups, I'm just going to place them in the freezer until the hot wax is ready. Alright, my wax is ready and I can begin to pour it into my molds. Now you will see I'm using a pot holder that has a little pocket so I can get a good grip on this without touching the hot bowl. Alright, I'm just going to pour this in and see what happens. And to these ones, I'm just going to add a few drops of food coloring. Whoa, cool! Alright, well the wax hardens, I'm going to move on to the next step and melt another candle. This one, sure, why not? So since we last met, I have learned some things. One of those is that food coloring cannot dye wax because food coloring is water-based. And unfortunately, this beautiful blue color I have here is just water. So for the next layer, I'm just going to put a little bit more ice and then more wax. Turns out the candle I melted was not solid gold, but had a weird coating, which looks like a big clump of hair. So I'm just going to take that right on out, put it there, gross, we're never going to talk to it again, Add some more ice to my candles. Woo, daiquiris! What's your favorite daiquiri flavor? Mine's candle. Has this ever happened to you? You think your candle's all good, but the wicks have burnt out and you still have a good chunk of wax in there you can't get out? Easy. Just like your favorite kind of noodles, you are just gonna place this whole jar into boiling water. Woohoo, that's exciting! I'm having a really good time! Thanks for inviting me to this party! This isn't a party, these are drinks. Alright, so the moment of truth, we're gonna melt our last candles and hope that it makes enough wax to finish these off. If not, who cares? We're just gonna give them out anyway and pretend they're abstract. So now that I've waited what feels like an eternity for these candles to harden, I can take them out of the molds and wait for the ice to melt. This part's really simple. Just pop it right out of there. It's like each one pees on me a little bit. Already these candles look like they're the bomb plus 10. So I guess that's like 20. Last one. Gross. Great. Now that all my candles are out of their mold, I can begin to wait for them to dry. Melt. They're gonna melt. And now that I've done these, I can already see they're gonna turn out a little bit crazy. And that's the good thing about making gifts for people you don't like. It's a great time to practice for making gifts for people you actually do like. Alright, okay, so now that all the ice is melted out of my candles, I think they turned out pretty cool. Ooh, good enough to eat. So the next step is very simple. I'm gonna take this ribbon that somebody gave to me, so it was free, and tie it around in a nice little bow. Now that looks like a day spa. Ooh, where'd you get that candle? Was it somewhere fancy, like a fancy candle store? No, I made it myself. Now that all my candles are complete, I'm ready to give them out as gifts. I can either put them in a group or give them out individually. I'd probably pay a good $600 for that candle. And now, here's some footage of the candles on display. Those are the nicest candles I have ever seen. Oh my gosh, if someone gave me those candles as a gift, I would definitely think they were expensive. I might actually have to keep these and give them to someone I like. Anyway, thank you for watching. You had a wonderful time. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and convince 15 friends to do the same. So until next time, you may be able to melt the old candle down, but that doesn't mean you can stop it from smelling any less crazy. Bye!